Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
All at once. Stepping off, rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because they're gonna get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up, wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
Hey, this is King Simon, the international numero beta. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to linktree/King Simon, the numero beta. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon, the Numerovata. That's King Simon, the Numerovata. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovata himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon, the Numero Beta. Get all 4 of my books. And of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. Alrighty. Good morning. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. King Simon presents only quality people. What's up? Oh man. We are here for another episode. We're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. That's right, at King Simon. I am King Simon on Instagram also. So make sure you tune in, tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell everybody, because we got a great show for you today. We got a great show for you today, my family. Great show. I see people coming in. Remember, family, remember, sharing is caring. You got to remember that, family. Sharing is caring. Don't be afraid to share, like, and do what you like. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Please thumb up, share, and like this broadcast to build the algorithm. Remember, sharing, again, is caring. Let's get that round of applause. That's good. It's good. Oh, so how's your day today? Good morning. It is now 10:54 a.m. in the morning, and this is a Wednesday. You know, I don't do morning shows anymore like that unless it's on a Sunday, but we're doing it on a Wednesday today, and I'm honored to be having one of my my good family members on, who I'm proud of. I'm proud of her because she's taken on a legacy that has been a milestone in our family for many years. And this beautiful young lady is named Allegra. Yeah. She'll be coming up at the 11:11 hour in the morning, because 11:11 is that doorway, that vortex. And she's born in the 11th month. She don't even know why I did the science. I understand these things. And one of the quotes that she has is, doulas aren't a luxury. They're a necessity. Oh, yeah. So give that a round of applause. And we're going to be talking about it. Just want to let everybody know that, what we got coming up, and what, of course, some of the enjoyable events that's coming up, some of my sponsors that are here. Big up to the people on IG, big up to the people on Facebook that are also watching, and big up to all of you on YouTube that's watching me. It's your brother, the Numerovator, the founder of the Ministry of Numerovation. Give myself a round of applause. Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I pay these people. Y'all got to understand, I pay these people. So it is all good. We got the martial arts. We got the gathering of the masters, the Grand Masters Part 3 happening in New York on May 5th and May 6th. And that's going to be from 7 to 9 p.m. and 3 to 6 p.m. And that's happening in New York, Brooklyn, New York at 759 Washington Avenue. If you do want to RSVP, you want to be on the mat, or you just want to be a spectator, all you have to do is go to studymartialarts.com. That's studymartialarts.com. Or give them a call and tell them King Simon sent you at 718-210-3190. There's going to be a whole lot of legends on the mat. It's $125 for both days, $75 for one day, $45 for spectators, and $40 for online presence. So we're going to make it happen. I'm going to march. I'm going to see if I can get there or be online. And also, we're doing a big Circle of Cosmic Consciousness retreat in New Orleans. Yes. I'm going to be in New Orleans with Nina Devine, Jackie Levine, Aquarius Maxim, and Lloyd Strayhorn, all the greats. Now, if you want to get those tickets, please, don't let me start singing like James Brown to your backside. Get those tickets at the website right there, stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. And believe me, we're going to talk about how to use this 7 universal year as a calling to heal your mental health, relationships, subconscious, self, all of that. We're going to go down the line with that and have some fun at the same time. So if you want to be in NOLA with us, New Orleans, please come on out. It's going to happen from August the 17th all the way to the 19th. So make sure you go to the website and check that out. And don't forget, if you want to book a session with my brother, one of my teachers, one of my elders, the one, the only Lloyd Strayhorn, make sure y'all hit him up at lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. Y'all seen him on 19 Keys Show, and y'all seen him on Brother Rich. You've seen Lloyd over the years. He's done many shows, Oprah Winfrey, all of that. Hit him up at 800-581-4401. He's the world-renowned astronumerologist, palmist, and he also you can book sessions, you can purchase his products, you can sign up for his newsletters, and take his courses, all right? So make sure you support that. Also, I got my new numerovational guidance deck. I'll give myself a round of applause. All you have to do, if you want to pre-order your guidance deck today, all you have to do is go to Numerovation G Cards. That's numerovationgcards@gmail.com. And remember, shipping and handling is not included. So it's $44 you got to pay for shipping and handling. I ain't got no time for that now. All right, we ain't doing all of that, friends. And big up to Elizabeth and Prince Imagine. They got a nice little business going on called EPS Holistic Health and Wellness.square.net. They got some great ointments for the muscles. They got CBD oil and ointment. Make sure you hit them up. That's my son and his girlfriend doing a thing, or wife, or whatever he wants to call it today. You know what I'm saying? So big up to him. That's my son. Big up to Adam, and of course his beautiful Empress. 929-456-3009. That's 929-456-3009. Give them a call and get those ointments. If you want to learn the Dr. Africa method of reversing effects of ailments, make sure you go to LailaAfrica.com. LailaAfrica.com. And if you are in Delaware, make sure you hit up the Drop Squad Kitchen family. That's Drop Squad Kitchen in Wilmington, Delaware. Hit them up at 302-984-2773. They got the best vegan and vegetarian dishes in the world. And if you want to check out Nicholas Brooklyn or Nicholas Cultural, get 10% off with all purchases. Make sure you go to them and give them a call at 718-858-4400. And please take a picture of this, and you can take this particular flyer and get 10% off on all retail purchases, okay? Big up to my dear friend, the one, the only, Dr. Shakira Moore. If you want to do an iridology session with her and you want to get any of her products, get her newsletter and all that, go to www.holisticapalace.com. That's holisticapalace.com. Not a mercy. And please nominate your brother for the awards, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. Nominate him. Go through my linktree/King Simon the Numero Veda. It's the first annual Forbidden Knowledge Conscious Award with Billy Carson, Elizabeth Hulkster, and a whole host of, hosted by Chris Spencer, the comedian, actor, and director. So big up to him. And of course, if you want to take a tour with Baba Ashraf Kwesi, all you have to do is give him a call at 214-371-0206. That's 214-371-0206. And tell him that King Simon sent you. Let me put the other. And big up to Infinite Times magazine. It's in the building. Make sure you show them some love. Go to infinitememag.com. That's infinitememag.com, where spirituality and metaphysics are one. If you want to write your book for the first time, please contact Susie Script. If you're an author, journalist, and you just want to write, give her a call at 914-361-9467. And if you want to purchase any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numero Veda. If you want to take my classes, you got linktree/King Simon the Numero Veda. You got it through Udemy also. And if you want to take my 8-hour course, guess what? You can go to linktree/King Simon the Numero Veda. And remember, if you want to book a session with me, my list is into May, heading into June. All you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. And if your birthday is in around May or June, it's a good time to book that session right now. But if you are patient, you can do that. But if you want to break my list because of emergency, it costs $200. All right. I'm just letting you know it costs an extra $100 on top of that. So I'm just letting you know how that works. All right. And one more thing, remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And remember, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, because no one is perfect in this realm. Woo! It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. All right. All right, today is a very good day, of course, a very good day. Today is the 29th of March. I want to say happy birthday to one of my dear friends and former partners in Vibes. She used to hold down my doors all the time. Her name is Stacia Gregorio. Happy birthday, Stacy! Happy birthday, Stacy! I know I texted this morning, so I text Stacy this morning, so I know she is probably under the bed. No, she probably headed to work. Knowing her, she's a workaholic. So big up to Stacia Gregorio. She used to model for Mashoud back in the day. Big up to Mashoud Design. She used to model for Mashoud back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to know that she has been doing her thing for quite some time and working it out, making things happen. And how's your day today, family? Let me know how's your day today, because, you know, today is one of those, we're nice and warm out here in Georgia on a Wednesday. Wednesday is called Hump Day. I don't know why they call it Hump Day. I don't know if there's a lot of people that's humping or doing something, or it's because it's in between of the week. It's in between the middle of the week and we're about to go into the weekend. Yeah, I know that's what it means. I'm just playing. But, you know, anytime we hear Hump Day in the club back in the day, we knew it was one of those days we had to be humping and doing what we're supposed to do. I'm just saying, get that around the floor. A lot of things going on in local news, but I am not going to touch on any of the craziness. Man, There's a lot of things going on with Jonathan Majors because of his arrest, assault. Man, they're looking. They might be recasting him for Kang. He might not be playing Kang anymore. So this is what's going on with Jonathan Majors. They're messing around with them white women. You got to be very careful now. Big ups to all you fam, the people that are white, but you got to be careful out there, and you don't know who's who and what's what. And sometimes our own people can be treacherous when it comes to these things. But I hope the brother gets over and do what he got to do. I heard that she pulled back all the charges. She recanted her statement and all that. So, but once you put that stigma of assaulting a woman or doing anything that's outrageous, always going to be a stigma. And especially for original people or melanated men, we always got to be very careful, especially when you get up in celebrity. That's why I always tell my bull crap, because look, I ain't planning on running for political office. I ain't planning on doing none of that. If you read any of my books, especially No Promotion and Bad Promotion, I told you all the parties I did and all of that. I'm not trying to run for political office, not me. All right. But today is the 29th, and the 29th adds up to a number 11, and 2 and 9 equals that a number 11. 11 is that doorway, is that vortex, it's that spiritual understanding, that spiritual understanding. But on the other side of the number 11, you got to be careful of deceivers and people that try to deceive you in any way. Treachery from the opposite sex and all that kind of stuff. And it could be both male and female. It's up to you what you're going through. You got to be a little prepared and be a little bit more alert in this day and time when it comes to dealing with people. And I don't like me personally don't like too much new friends anymore, but I am willing to make new friends. But I in this day and time, it's not like the 90s and the 80s where we ain't have all this crap that's going on, all of social media. Back in the day, we were able to, you won't hear about China till a week or 2 weeks due to the media. But now you can hear it just like this, what's going on in the world today. And the world has become, due to technology, a little bit more smaller and a little bit more sensitive. And I knew when the 2000 came in, especially if you study numbers, when the 2000 came in, I understood that it was going to be a very sensitive time because the number 2 in 2000, whether it's 2001, 2002, all the way to 2023 right now, that number 2 that leads, or that number 20 leads with a certain awareness, a certain awareness about yourself, your inner self, awareness of things that has happened in the family, a certain sensitivity that the number 2 comes with. So you got to be alert and pay attention to your intuition and your intuitive powers in the 2000. And now that we're up to 2023, woo! 23 years in since Prince sang that song, 1999. Don't you want to go? Since he sang that song, 1999, who himself was very intuitive. The one, the only Prince, born on June the 7th. It's a powerful energy in coming out of the male sequence of the number 1, the 1900s, now into the 2000, which is the female sequence, because in numerology, according to numerology, the number 1 is a male energy. So those 1900, 1800s, and those 1700s were very important for that male energy, that male dominant energy. It had happened all the way through that. And now that we're in the feminine dominant energy, the 2 in numerology represents the need for the feminine to be on top, yes, but the line on the bottom of the 2, when you look at the shape of the number 2, represents the foundation is man. Man has to support the feminine energy on their rise so we can hook in and come together, because we ain't doing this without each other. We're not doing this without each other. And once we learn to understand that, that's what the 2 represent. It's not supposed to be perverted and the man separated from a woman, or the man arguing with the woman and all that kind of crazy. It's really supposed to be a unified hook. The 2 looks like a hook. When you look at the number 2 and I'll put the number 2 up there right now. When you look at the number 2 and how it's shaped, when you look at the number 2, and I got it right there in the corner of how it's shaped, it's a hook, which is the curve representing the feminine aspect of the number, and then the line, the linear part, represents the masculine aspect. So when you put the 2 together, it's supposed to be a support. So the line on the bottom is the support, and the women are the hook for today. They are the curvature of today, because the curve represents female, and the lines or the linear represents male. That's how you have to understand how numbers and the flow lines. I teach that in my class. So anybody who want to get my class or take my class, here it is. You can take my class. Here's the information. My full class. That is my 8-hour raw, uncut, holistic numerovation course. It's $444 circulation rate. You can go through Linktree at King Simon, the Numerovator, or if you want to avoid Eventbrite charges, please text me 347-496-1022 and tell me you want to pay via PayPal or Cash App so you can avoid all of the surcharges. That's up to you. But I teach my classes on a holistic perspective so you can see all sides. And do remember, I will be in Florida doing some work. Be in Florida doing some work and working with Forbidden Knowledge, finally getting off this television show. So I can't wait for that. I'm excited about that. Excited about that. It's going to take me to another level. This Forbidden Knowledge TV series is going to take me to another level, and I have to go down to Florida and film 8 episodes. 8 episodes. And it's going to be basic, but it's called Numbers Are Simple. That's the name of the show. Like the name of my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. It's called Numbers Are Simple with King Simon. So we're going to make sure we deal with the first episodes, or the first series, which is 8 episodes, will be dealing with history and all that. We're going to go through some stuff. And then once the numbers are presented to my brother and the Forbidden Knowledge crew, then we'll start coming in with the next series of advanced stuff. And of course, interviews and all that kind of stuff, or dealing with or bringing in certain people. So I'm looking forward to that and having a good time. I am the Numerovator, and I do it my way. I do it a different way, and I like to see numbers from a different perspective. So right now we're waiting for our dear friend to come on, our dear family member to come on. And you know, just want to make sure that she is good. You know, I'm checking all the signs, checking, because I know she has her children right now, and I see her coming in the background. She's getting herself together. Before we do that, I want to make sure before I put her on, she got to set that jump in. I may set up that background. I don't want to see her forehead like some old people. Old people be putting their forehead and be talking to your forehead all day. So it can be crazy back in that's why I'm trying not to get that old. I'm talking to my forehead. On that cellular phone. They don't even say cell phone. They say cellular phone. They say the whole darn thing. Cellular phone. But without further ado, this beautiful family member is a full spectrum doula. And she's a curator of MILF MADE. And she said it was created to serve women who want to feel supported and empowered to be their best selves along their maternal journey. Without further ado, we're going to have her come and explain that right here on King Simon Presents the one, the only, my family, your family. Welcome, the one, the only, Allegra White in the business.
Oh boy.
Our host. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
You all right?
I love that. I want that intro everywhere I go.
Yeah,
you know, like
you should get it everywhere you go. You should
like the rose petals and Coming to America. I just want you to walk around with me with all the bells and whistles and
with the music, right?
Yes, all of it, and introduce me like that.
You don't know your cousin been on stage on Madison Square Garden.
I know. I'm with the pro. So go easy on me because
no. I'm going easy.
This is not my my wheelhouse. So
Hey,
I'm
hey,
gonna
look.
let you lead everything.
Well. First and foremost, I am honored that you came on. I love and respect what you do. I've always admired the doulas and the midwife. I've always admired because we grew up in a family full of them that were around. Put it like that. They was around, and I grew up watching that. And first and foremost, before we step into that family, I want to make sure y'all know who this is. Allegra, she's our guest. She's the curator of MILF MADE. You can contact her via IG at milf.made, and her email is allegra at milf-made.com, and that's the website right here. This is the website. Make sure y'all support that and show that if you are planning on having Planned Parenthood, if y'all planning on having children and y'all working on it, because sometimes it's unplanned, sometimes it's planned. But if you plan on having children, family, all you youngins out there, please contact this sister through her website. And believe me, she is a pro at this.
Not just youngins, whoever's for motherhood,
there's a new generation coming in. So let's help them out. Let's help them out. The older people, they can do it because there's people that's having children at 50s going into their 60s.
Absolutely, and they need doulas as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I like the slogan that you gave me on the fly. That was very good. It just goes to show you that she's brilliant. She's brilliant. She said, doulas aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. Get that a round of applause. Oh my goodness. That was good. Because I was here thinking about all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, like dare I even ask what
no, it was positive. It was positive because I grew up around it. But first and foremost, tell the people who you are and what made you go down the road of becoming a doula. Please.
Okay. Well, as my name says, I'm Allegra White. I am a wife and a mother of 5 before anything, 5 girls. And I started my family when I was 19. I was a teenage mom. I was a college student. And I had to go through a clinic because I didn't have health care. And so I had to go through a free clinic where I was getting maternal support from different people every time that I went. And then, before I even say that, let me just say that I really believe that your experiences dictate your path.
Yes.
And they add to it. And so I really believe that a lot of my experiences have helped put me in the position that I am now.
Right.
And so because I was a young mother and I had the experiences that I had in free clinics, not getting support, not being given information about my body, just moved through a process that didn't feel personal, that was cold and brief. I then went into the labor room with a lot of questions, with a lot of fear, but was blessed to see someone from my church who was the head nurse there. And in turn, she blessed me with a midwife who happened to be working that day that I gave birth to my eldest. And so my experience was in the birthing room when I was in labor was really positive. Because I had a midwife and a nurse that recognized me and wanted me to have support.
Yes.
And every subsequent experience from then has been positive. But what I was learning was that a lot of women were not having those experiences. They were scared. They didn't have information. They weren't supported. They were basically moved through a system and treated like another file.
Yes.
And I really wanted to pay my experiences forward. I really wanted people to understand the process of birth, but also enjoy it the way that I did. Enjoy the process of pregnancy. It really is a transformative experience. It really is a sacred experience. And I want I want other women to feel like that, to really look back and with positivity and not with a lens of trauma.
I mean, that give that a round of applause. I have to.
This
I
is
have
like
to.
Funk Flex with the bombs. This is
Yeah. I got those bombs are outlandish. It sound like you're in an Arab country. I don't want to do that. But because this is a very serious topic to me, as far as watching our ancestors do that type of work. And I remember it was due to my last child being born. I was so happy for the midwife, or the midwife that was there, that was appointed to us, a beautiful sister with dreads, locks, I remember. And I wanted the placenta. Now, because why I'm saying that, because as much as women are going through it, people don't, in ancient culture, it used to be a celebratory thing with between the man and woman. And when women are pregnant, the man is pregnant too. When the woman is pregnant, the family on her side and the man is supposed to be pregnant together, bringing in this whole celebration, not labor, where Europeans seem to call it labor, when back in the day it was celebration. Even the women gather around, the women, they playing drums in the background, all kinds of stuff is happening.
yeah.
Talking about ancient time. I'm not talking about recent time, where it's now become traumatizing. And like you just said, the statement you just made, you've noticed that they was treating them like just a number, or just a piece of, could be a piece of slab on the meat, just on the table, just to get people in and people out. That's what they've done. And I've seen it happen, not only in America, but I've seen it in the Caribbean too, where people could be, two people, Allegra, could be in a hospital in Jamaica, and they have to get out by the next day. As soon as they have birth, they have to get out. And some people, two people could be on the same bed. This is what used to happen in Jamaica back in the day. I don't know if it's changed. I know it wasn't like that too much in America, but in Jamaica, when I was out there in a family that worked in Spanish Town Hospital, I remember hearing these stories as a child. Like, what the heck? Two people, two women on the same bed about to give birth? What the hell? How this work? So what you said, what you just laid out as far as why you set up this curated this MILF Made, to me, I'm very proud of that journey of what you do, because sometimes it's not an easy journey. You don't know who's supporting you, who don't support you, you don't know. And it's good that you have a good family structure that also helped you. And I just want to applaud that, give you a round of applause for that. Keith and all your beautiful daughters, I want to give them a round of Dr. Keith. Let me put some respect to his name, Dr. Keith. I got to do that. But thank you very much for that. And now, from the first time you had birth, I understand that you also went through some stuff with one of the births. I don't know which one it was, but there was something that you went through that was very interesting in a vehicle. How was that? Because a lot of people, we never know when the child is going to come out. Mm-hmm. And how do you call a midwife at that time, or a doula at that time? Or is the doula being prepared to be wherever you are, wherever you're about to give birth? How does that work? And how did that work with you at that time, that story?
Well, let me just echo what you said first. Yes, traditionally, we did give birth surrounded by our community.
Yes.
And we have lost a lot of that tradition, and we don't revere it as much. Yes. And obstetrics, the history of obstetrics began as a method of intervention, basically for babies that were in breech position. Mm-hmm. Doctors didn't start to become involved in births until royalty. It was like a position of notoriety to have a doctor attend your birth. And so that's hence the name of this show, Doulas Aren't a Luxury.
Right.
Because people sometimes think of it as like a thing only certain people can afford or should be able to afford. And I just want to remind people that traditionally we were surrounded, like you said, by our families and communities. Yes. And I like to remind my moms that the way that you made the baby is the way that we need to remember. That's the easiest way to birth the baby. When our jaws are relaxed, when we feel love, and it produces oxytocin, the love hormone, those help the transition from the baby being inside to being earthside much much easier. Those are things that are helping the process along. And so feeling loved, feeling supported are actually like scientifically producing positive results. And so, you know, saying things like when people are on the bed with you or you're feeling support, those are just ways that to hold the mom through this process, to help her feel soft and at peace as she's transitioning. Now, my fifth baby, which is what you asked me about, did have her in the car.
Yes. Wow.
And that is because even though this is something that I do for a living, Keith, my husband, is not as comfortable as a lot of people are with this process. And he did not feel comfortable with a home birth. He didn't feel like he would be able to support me because he would be overwhelmed with all of the things that come with labor.
That's true.
And so I knew that I didn't want to be in a hospital setting for long. I knew that that wasn't how I wanted to have this fifth baby, especially after all of these experiences. So I just waited until the last minute to let him know that it was time for us to go to the hospital. I did not know she was going to come out in the car. I was hoping to make it there just to push her out, but you know, man plans God laughs.
God laughs, right?
So I mean, it makes for a great story.
To me, I thought you wrote the book already. I would have wrote this book.
It makes for a great story. I don't know that I would change much other than wishing that Keith or Callie, who was with us, my second born, other than wishing that one of them recorded what was happening,
documented, and
not. I know, like, we're in the age of social media where everyone puts everything online. Not even for that. All of my other births were recorded, and I'm able to show the kids how they entered Earth. But my youngest doesn't have that. She just has a story.
Wow, that's interesting. Give that a round of applause, man. But you know what's so funny? You know, it's there's so many stories out there, and I think your story as a book form can be very helpful. Even the stories about every birth, because that's generational wealth. Just writing a book. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. You got the stories. Continue, because that can help with some of the deliveries that you might assist with along the way, you know, and to help give them guidance. So, because there's a lot of fear out there nowadays in this day and time. A lot of young people don't want to have children. A lot of people are saying that they don't want to have children. Well, I mean, not
which is
children.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay, but I mean,
has to have a baby. I don't think that's everyone's path.
Yes, it's not everyone's path, you know. But I remember a minister saying that years ago. He said the womb of a woman is the military enforcement, God's military enforcement on earth to bring forth the power of the Lord in a physical perspective. That's what he was saying at that time. And that's the blessing. And I remember another lecturer, Dr. Ben, used to say, heaven lies between the legs of a woman, because it's the souls and the spirit that comes through us to this physical realm, through the women into the physical realm, through the womb. Why the womb is so important, and why men should learn to respect the womb more, especially men, you know, and women nowadays need to respect their womb more. So when it comes to the preparation of your client, or the person that you deal with, that you usually know by first name basis, and you know the family, how does the preparation of becoming of being a doula, how does that work? Because like you said, doulas aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. So how's the preparation, and how does that work along the way?
The preparation
for birthing,
them for labor?
Labor, yes, celebration.
Well,
yes.
First and foremost, being a doula for me, I can't speak for all doulas, but for me is about building connection. And I can't support you through this intimate space if you don't trust me, right? And so first it's about learning about that person. And it looks different for every single mom because us as individuals have our own needs before we even gave birth. Before we even became pregnant or decided we wanted a family, we have a whole history and life that occurred before that, a childhood, a bevy of experiences that have informed the type of people that we are, what makes us upset, what stresses us out, how we manage difficult moments. And so it is about me learning about their history, their how they grew up, how they manage stress, who they are now, what kind of work they do, which could tell me a lot about how active they are, things like that. And then also learning about their health history. You know, what has been their relationship with our healthcare system to date? You know, have they had any kind of traumatic interactions with people in the healthcare realm? Do they have any injuries that could inform how they're able to manage labor? Are there any illnesses or concerns that would dictate how the pregnancy might go? These are all things that I'm asking along the way that will inform what type of support they need, what type of doula I need to be for them, how I need to show up for them. And building that connection helps me curate the
Yes.
experience, helps me figure out, well, this is what it sounds like
Right.
you need. And more than anything, it's me seeing them as a person, as a human being, as someone who has a lot of other things happening where pregnancy is coming into that space, not just like happening to them, but also compounding things that are already existing.
What you just said was very pointed. All the things that's been existing, and how does the family, how does what's the importance between the man and the woman during this whole time as you're doing and helping them and assisting them along the way? Do you find that you need to also talk to the man sometimes, or talk to the husband, or talk to other family members around the woman that seems to be pregnant at that time? How does that work? What's that like?
It's not always a man,
I know, right?
and depending on who their partner is,
Yes, the partner,
I
right?
do like to involve them
Okay.
because I'm not with them as much as that person. And sometimes they don't have a partner, and that would actually mean that I need to step up even more, right?
Yeah.
Or find someone that can stand in the gap for them when I'm not there. And what that looks like for me is learning what their relationship is like, and how much that person can handle, and then bringing them in right before labor to teach them how to support them at home, how to support the pregnant woman at home, like how to massage the woman, how to keep her comfortable. And if she's not having a home birth, how to keep her feeling at peace and at ease at home as long as possible, because the longer you stay home, the less interventions you come and you face, especially when you're going to a hospital birth. You want to be home as long as possible, so that you reduce the likelihood of interventions, so that you're essentially just going in to give birth. When you're in a hospital, there are a lot of procedural things that happen that are disruptive and uncomfortable, and it's not your house. You're not as in control as you would like to be in. So making sure that their environment, which includes their partner and their family, are as prepared and knowledgeable, not just in the process, but in what that woman has communicated to me she needs specifically for this moment. Making sure that they understand that she's the priority, and whatever she's requested trumps anything else.
Powerful. Powerful. You know, I'm tears is watering in my eyes because y'all don't understand. Y'all can't see it behind the shades, but y'all don't understand. I know this sister before she even came out the womb, and to hear her speak like this is it's tear jerking. I'm just saying my heart is filled with joy for what you do, because I've never heard my baby cousin speak in such a way, in such a way in my life, because we always either a family just having fun and doing what we got to do, but I never said that. And it's good that someone have taken it on. And I know it's in the blood for you to even be like that, because even the word MILF is an acronym for Moms in Love with Family, Food, and Fashion. Where did you get that concept from? Why that? Why that name?
Well, honestly, like I said, I was young when I became pregnant with my eldest.
Right.
And I just felt like, well, there was a moment. I remember specifically, I was still away at college. And there was a moment where a friend of mine said to me, "Are you going to keep wearing these sweatsuits every day? Like, you wearing these sweatsuits every day?" And it's true, like how we show up, how we present ourselves influences how we feel. If we don't feel like we look good and we don't feel like positive, or we're not projecting like a positive image, then we might not feel good about how we're approaching anything. And I was like, you know what? Just because I'm pregnant doesn't mean that I need to be like, a slouch.
Exactly. Right.
And I was like, you know what? That shifted things for me. And I started wearing my heels and dressing up and feeling good. And that doesn't mean that that's what feels good for everyone.
Right.
But just making sure that I took care of myself and I felt good about myself, and that just because I was carrying this baby, what example did I want to have for her? That like life was ending, that I couldn't feel good about myself, that I wasn't going to be my full self now that I'm pregnant. You have to be your full self, because you can't bring half of it, especially when you're raising another human. They need to see that example. And so I wanted to make sure that other moms felt full and positive and beautiful and empowered. And pregnancy only maximize this beauty. And so the joke is that my friends used to be like, "Oh, you're a MILF, you're a MILF." I mean, everyone knows what that means. You're a MILF, like, look at you, you have on heels, and you're looking great, even though you're 9 months pregnant. I mean, up until I delivered, I remember my mother-in-law chastising me about wearing high heels to church, and I was like, well, this is gonna be me up until I give birth. And I did. And then I was like, you know what, it's not just about like, it's a play on words. It's not just about like dressing up. It's about prioritizing your family. Feeling good doesn't just mean the clothes that you put on. It's the food that you're putting in your body, and how that's manifesting during your pregnancy, and in your skin and your health, how you feel about yourself, so all of those things are a part of what I teach my moms to do and how to care for themselves.
Get that a round of applause, family. MILF made. It's MILF made, baby. We MILF made it. And make sure you hit up Allegra, man. Hit up her. Like her, of course, on IG at MILF.made, and also email her at Allegra@MILF made.com. If you're looking for that type of service for your family, and you feel it's necessary, like she says, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity, because a lot of us don't know how important it is. And for what she just said about what MILF means, the acronym means Moms in Love with Family, Food, and Fashion. Yes, you don't have to be a rag doll out there. Some people choose to be that, but I always admired beautiful pregnant women. I mean, I remember when Erykah Badu took a picture. I still have that album of her pregnant on that. I met Erykah a few times, you know what I'm saying? And she used to say, Simon, I love your smile. And I used to say, thank you, Erykah. I'm not going to be your next baby daddy.
I mean, who was requesting that? You or Erykah?
I was joking with her. We just having fun. So, and I remember watching her in that album, and I think that's when she wrote, when she sang, "You Better Call Tyrone," and that's one of my names. So, and it was crazy. And I remember just when I seen her, and I've met her for the first time, I just bowed to her. It was her and Andre 3000 at that time in Brooklyn, near Moshood, at this place up on Fulton Street. We ran into her, and I ran into her, and I just said, "Look, I love that album. That album is off the hook. I love the whole look of pregnancy, and at least showing the beauty, because in ancient history, the pregnant woman was called, according to Dr. and Reverend Barashango, the pregnant woman was called one of the guardian angels of this planet, the Black pregnant woman. And we have lost that. It has diminished to what they call in our women now in the clubs and all that bull crap. But say it again, what you were going to say?
I said we took a turn. I don't know how we ended up in the club.
I mean, I'm just saying that's what happened. What the language has, what have happened through music and all that is kind of depleted and diminished the value of pregnancy, the value of women, the value of union. It has been diminished over the years. And I've seen it, being 56 years young. I've seen it myself, watching all of this, because I've been in the club, and I grew up in the clubs with my father running a nightclub the year I was born. So I watched this whole thing change over. So getting back to that, because I've seen even women in the clubs pregnant. Just being there. Now, what do you say about sisters that do that? Because sometimes the music can be, and we know that in the sac of the liquid, sound can be carried to the child. What do you say about women that still like to go out to those clubs with those loud music? I don't mind the lounge where you just chilling, but those loud clubs that are doing all of that, I'm taking you there for a reason, because there's women that are doing that to this day. What do you say about women that does that, and how does it affect the child from your perspective?
I say that you do you.
Okay.
There are too many people, specifically men, telling women what they should and shouldn't do with their bodies. Mm-hmm. And that is not my space. MILF Made and Allegra is about making sure that you feel empowered and affirmed, mm-hmm. and your individual choices based on information are affirmed. And I don't want to tell someone that they can't do something as long as it's healthy for them.
That part.
And the baby, then I feel like if they feel good doing it and the baby's still safe, then you do you. I think we play music for babies, you know, how we talk to babies. Maybe they want that child to embrace a certain sound, or I can't speak to why they would choose that. Dancing is great.
Yeah, I don't mind dancing. I'm cool with
dancing.
Dancing
is great for pregnancy and helps prepare for labor. So why not? Why not?
No, makes sense. It makes sense. I mean,
should they be, then we're going into like a danger, but should we be in a space where it's super crowded, they can't really breathe, they're dehydrated, you know, they're around people that are really drunk, I mean, there are things that they should not do, even if they weren't pregnant, right? We should just be responsible. That's right.
I guess that's where I'm coming from, because I've been in that life and I've seen crowds and then women there. And I used to, when I see them, I said, you want to sit down and relax? You good? You all right? I'm an MC, so I'm moving, and I'm seeing what's happening. And she just want to be there with her friends, but they hookahing it and they smoking. And I personally, we may say, oh, men are saying this, but common sense. We have lost a lot of common sense in our society. That's the most uncommonest thing.
That's true.
If you got hookah and weed and you're pregnant, don't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. As a person who have 9 children personally, don't make sense to me.
You didn't birth those 9 children.
No, yeah, but again, I still came from a concept learning
Mhm.
that the
The man.
balance is man and woman still
Mhm.
supposed to at least be a sister. I don't mind dancing and African dance and ballet. While you pregnant, beautiful. But when it comes to those nightclubs that I used to hang out with and seeing that kind of, and I, but and then when the child does come out,
Mhm.
what's so interesting, they're telling me that this child is unworthy. He's getting arrested. He's older now. He might be going through a lot of bull crap now as he's gotten older. I said, okay, well, what you put in them from before he came out is, and I wouldn't say that. I just say, okay, well, I seen you somewhere else when we was younger. So it is what it is. And you're right, they do have their choices. But I know environment to doulas are very important.
Absolutely. And
Environment,
but environment to me is
not the same.
language,
Right,
um, community, like what your support team looks like,
right.
how we're speaking about pregnancy, how we're speaking about labor, um, how we're treating our body.
Hmm.
Um, and I see a question. Should
Yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah, that's, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do
I
we
just
deal with questions as
we
it
can
happens?
we'll
Or-
finish answering your question and we
Okay.
can deal with that. We can go right into
um,
it.
you know, I lost my train of thought, but how we're nourishing
Language.
our bodies
Right,
with
right, right,
language,
right.
with food,
Mm.
with exercise, with rest. Those are the things that encourage our environment, encourage a healthy environment. I think if someone wants to, I don't see too much of a difference between, all those backyard fetes mama used to have, and and we're playing loud music. You wouldn't, I don't know that we would have and take issue with a family barbecue where there's a ton of people, loud music,
Um,
and it's celebratory and the
yeah,
person feels
so
safe,
right, right,
you
yeah.
know.
Other
I
than
you know
the club, right? Because the club, anything can happen. I've had to defend a woman from a Moet bottle being hit up across the head just because
well,
some.
that's
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's that's a uh
Don't worry
that's
about
that's about the type of club, right?
it.
Like,
Yeah,
but that
exactly.
person was making those choices before they were pregnant, so we can't
Right.
even say
Yeah.
that's just about pregnancy. Those are choices that will persist in other areas, it sounds
Yes.
like,
Yes.
not just as it comes to a club scene.
Good, good. No, I mean, like I said, I'm just
Yeah.
from my experience. That's all I was saying. I
Yeah.
could only deal with what I experienced and then watch. But can Allegra refer a book on new expectancy mom for new expectancy mom? My niece just announced her pregnancy. That's the question. Nikki Love, what's up, Nikki?
Hi, Nikki. Thank you for your question. I actually get this question a lot. I do not have a book because I feel like a lot of books are they're speaking to one perspective.
Mm,
I would say to look at a lot of different perspectives, read
mm,
on nutrition, read
mm,
on exercise. I can uh, refer some really great resources on Instagram. If your niece is on Instagram, um, follow at Birth Queen. She does wonderful pelvic floor exercises and teaches the
mm.
woman about how to care for her body during pregnancy. And there's another one at El Breggy. She does a lot of like videos and demonstrations on birth and how
Mm.
preparing a woman and empowering a woman.
Wow.
I am located in New York,
Okay. Right.
and I serve all 5 boroughs in northern New Jersey and Nassau County and Long Island.
Okay.
So if that's the type of travel you are referring to, Cindy, I'm not sure where you're located, but please feel free to reach out to me via email or via my website. There is actually a quiz on my website that you
Yes.
can take if you're not sure if you need a doula, or you're not sure what type of support you need. Because also, I think it's important for people to know that a doula doesn't just support you necessarily during labor. I'm there before. I build a relationship with you. I'm there, of course, the day of. But then I also make sure to have at least one postpartum visit with my mom. And a lot of us, we forget about postpartum.
Mm.
I have a friend that refers to newborns as loose neck babies. And it's true. We send moms home with this loose neck baby, with a bunch of paperwork. When are they having time to read it? And we're just expecting them to like know.
Right.
And there are so many things that we don't know that we have to learn and figure out. And that person needs community after birth.
She's in the Bronx, she says, right? She's in
Oh,
the
okay,
Bronx.
great,
Good, good,
Cindy.
good.
So please, yeah, definitely, please reach out.
Yeah, yes. And this sister just asks, how does Allegra feel about ultrasound? Are hazardous to babies? I've heard both sides before. Happy belated World Doula Week. Happy belated World Doula Week.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Who comes up with these weeks and these days? These
The world, exactly. The world does. Whatever.
No, I don't think it depends on what they're for. If you're just trying to look at your baby, obviously you want to reduce how much exposure they're having. It depends on, I think it's need based. We have to go based on the individual. Like, what is that person considered high risk? Are we monitoring growth for some reason? Otherwise, if it's just to see what your baby's looking like and how they're developing, then I feel like we need to lean into trusting the process and trusting your body.
And you know, family, her website, again, before I let her go, because she's a busy woman and she got her children doing a spring break thing. Big up to them. Make sure you hit up www.milf-made.com, and the email is right there also on the bottom, Allegra@milf-made.com. Her IG is milf.made, of course. And on her website here, she says she has a quiz, and there it is right there in the front. That quiz, I'm showing y'all the quiz. Y'all can take a quiz. Do I need a doula? And that's good. To unsure of what doula is, have questions about birth and support you may need, take one of the quizzes, and for more information. So you got, and also they got the about. Her website is beautiful, and I want to scroll down to something that I seen earlier. Where did I see it? The home. I think it was home, because you got a lot of beautiful pictures of people that you work with. I see a beautiful woman in this picture, and
Absolutely.
all of you, our dear auntie.
Big up on sis.
Aunt Vicky. That's our auntie. And what this is the person, family, that I used to watch as a child, because I used to go back and forth to Jamaica. I was born in America, but I used to go back and forth to Jamaica. At 1 year old, I started flying it because it was free to fly back in those days.
Oh my God! Someone put you on a plane by yourself at
No, they actually, my grandmother used to take us down. My grandmother, her partner, her business partner. My grandmother is actually Sandra's godmother too. My grandmother from my father's side was Sandra's godmother. So, godmother also. So they was really tight with each other. This is my aunt Sis, who lived in 45 King Street and had a midwifery that was built by our grandfather. That was powerful. It would be your great grandfather, right? Or
yes.
Papa would be your great grandfather, my grandfather. But that, and just to show you, then we had shoemakers, we had seamstress, we had all of that in the family. It was a whole big family celebration. If you wanted to go get your shoes, if you wanted to birth a child, you go to her. If you want to get your building or your house built, you go to Papa. It was just a powerful thing that I only imagined, because I was just a child, but I seen it firsthand from my own perspective. We children, we didn't care any, but this is our dear aunt Sis that and what let me read what it says. This is powerful. In an effort to heal and reclaim our narrative, we have put a lot of emphasis on the generational trauma. I would like to challenge this because what you stress, you perpetuate its existence in your life. I want to encourage you to make full shift, make a shift. Consider instead your generational gift. My great aunt, Victorine Hamilton Campbell, this pearl adorned MILF before you, which is true, was the first midwife in Spanish Town, Jamaica, assigned to do home deliveries. This was unusual, usually done by the public health nurse. a public health nurse, and she is on record to have helped bring into the world over 10,000 babies during her 45-year career. And I didn't even know that. She even broke a record by having 1,003 house calls in 1 year, with only 4 being taken to the hospital due to complications. Her births totaled 999 babies for that year, another record never met by any other. As a senior registered nurse, a midwife, she orientated and guided numerous newly graduated midwives. In 1981, she continued her practice in a private facility, which she built at her home. That was the thing that was built by her grandfather, her brother, my granddaddy, her great granddaddy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember visiting this home. Yes, I think you have pictures, and her speaking of her practice. I'd like to think now that in some small way that made an impression on me as a kid and lent to how I support moms today. This is posted in gratitude to Aunt Sis, affectionately known as Aunt Sis, as our family called her. I am thankful of the foundation laid before me, and I accept the generational gift of service to women on their maternal journey. Wow, man, that is powerful. I give that a round of applause. Man, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful salute to Aunt Sis. I know she's looking over you, and I see the Black Panthers looking over you too on this the People's Program. Like,
absolutely.
You think I ain't catch that? I'm good. I got all the books.
Everything I do is intentional.
It's definitely intentional. I can tell because the Black Panthers started the first WIC program, so to speak. They was the one. People not even thinking about that. The free food, giving you free food and all that. So, oh man. So
one thing my grandmother says,
yes,
you know her as Auntie Norma.
Auntie Norma.
But one thing my grandmother always says is, them old time sayings is true.
Yes, they are.
And what that means for me is that our traditions should still be upheld and honored. And there is value in that I feel like we are really minimizing in our society. We really don't honor these traditions and the way things, with technology as they emerge.
Yes.
We are deferring to those things. And I think that those are helpful, the advances that we've made in science and technology, but we should still honor and use the things that we had as communities that brought us together, that empowered us, that built our families, and really hold them in high esteem and continue them. We're losing a lot of those things.
Yes. And you're such an old soul. Such an old soul. When your birthday again?
I knew I was looking forward to this part of the conversation.
November
8th.
8th. That's 8 in numerology is an old soul. 8 in numerology is an old soul energy, which is interesting. So you're such an old soul. And I've known that since you used to be in your as a little child. You're such an old soul. And there's a thing that you used to do when you was a child that was so, you ran into your father and you just have him pick you up, but you just want to get picked up so you can look around. That was like, I remember that when you and your father, you used to just pick up just so you can look around because he was tall. And you used to just pick up just to look around in the room. And I started laughing. I said, oh, she just nosy. She just want to see what's happening. Because all of us are standing.
Observant.
Yeah, you was a very observant child.
Scorpios like to take it all in, right?
Yes.
They like to know all the things that are happening. They can get a good measure of you.
I remember that. And that's the picture, I think, of him kissing you on your cheek. And you look, it was a dinner that we had, and you were just looking around, and he kissed you on your cheek. And I remember that picture. And enough respect to your mom, Donna, who used to babysit me when I was in Jamaica and babysit me. And her and Jackie used to babysit myself. And Jackie, Pat, They used to babysit me when I was a child. So, but again, I want to thank you very much. And family, again, please remember, doulas aren't a luxury; they're a necessity. And this beautiful sister can help. Are you teaching classes? Do you teach any classes? Any, any
I
other products or stuff that can come out? You do classes or courses or anything on your
I
website?
do childbirth education, but that's usually offered to my moms that
Okay.
are
Okay.
signed on as clients. Yeah, I don't do any addition like individual classes. They're
Right.
usually offered if you're a client of mine.
Look at her and her beautiful daughters right there in the pictures there on the website. You'll get to see all of this. What a beautiful, beautiful. Give them a round of applause. Allegra, thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This was great. It was comfortable, and thank you for encouraging me. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting me by having me on your platform.
Oh, well, you family, man. I wish I knew better because I've been talking to you and him about interviewing y'all, but I know I've been busy. But like you got on here, it takes a village. It really does. And any support I can, if you need any promotion or extra promotion, you let me know. I am a promoter. I grew up a promoter. So
Absolutely.
if you need any promotion in back of a flyer, whatever you want to give out on flyer, I got promotional teams in New York still doing it. And if you need help with a book, I got people that can help you with the books and get your stuff to work because you need that. That's eight. Your number 8 rules generational wealth and leaving legacy. Let it go. Let it all out. Right about all
that. I received that,
yes.
And
right?
that's powerful because I came from a mom where it was looked at like a generational curse. This teenage pregnancy
I don't
and
claim that
breaking a cycle, and I feel like this is an empowering role. And
I heard that all my life. I heard that since before you were born, and I always shunned that word curse.
Mm-hmm.
I say hard lessons that need to turn into a blessings. That's all it was to me.
And they are blessings, absolutely.
Yeah, because the only known curse in history is the word damn. That's it. That's only, everything else is all made up. That's the only known word that's known for curse in history, as I studied that back in the day. And so I don't claim none of that stuff. I don't claim when my cousins used to say on my father's side, "Oh, we're cursing." I'm like, nah, you curse if you hold on to it. I'm not cursed. I'm successful.
Words are powerful.
Exactly.
And you give life to things by what you speak and how you think about things. So absolutely.
Well, give everybody a group hug at home, man, and tell them I'll see them in New
you.
York if they come out to my mom's birthday.
To when you come up to celebrate your mom. But thank you for having me on.
Love you.
I love you.
Be safe, man, and keep
up
the
well
legacy,
to
man.
Everyone. And
thank you. I'll tell everybody. They all watching. Shia was watching all that.
I saw. Hey, Shia. Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
That's Allegra. That's my girl, Allegra White, my cousin. Yeah. Man, that was beautiful. Woo! Man, y'all don't know. Behind these shades, I was tearing up, of course, because I know this. I know that sister before she was even born. Her mother used to take care of me. So to see what she's doing and to see the works of my auntie come to life, y'all don't understand how much that made me feel good. Made me feel good because I personally watched or heard birthing. I used to stay at my aunt's house, the picture that we showed earlier. I used to stay at her house. When we went to Jamaica, it was either between my grandfather's house or her house. They were brother and sister. And my aunt would have to get up at night to go and deliver home birth and all that. And I remember when they was constructing the midwifery in the backyard, which was given to my mother at the end of everything. I remember this. That's why I encourage my little cousin to write her book. She has to write that book because, again, being born on the 8th of the month, my life path being an 8 when I add all my month, but that deals with generational wealth, multiple streams of income. It deals with multiple streams of income. and the need to use multiple streams of income to carry on and take it to the next level. So I'm very proud of her. I know her mother's proud of her, her grandmother, her grand aunt, everybody, her sisters and brothers, and on that side, and of course her children are proud of her. And it's a good thing to see what she's doing as far as like I said, this is her family here. This is a family right there. All of her beautiful children, 5 beautiful daughters. I suggest all of them learn martial arts because they're all beautiful children. I say learn martial arts, learn how to protect themselves. That's what I suggest all the time because daddy ain't always going to be around. So you got to make sure. I would teach. I know 2 of my daughters went to the martial arts classes and all that stuff. So we about that life. If it comes down to it, it's going to be a fight. That's all I can tell. But I'm honored and that she came on, and I'm encouraging it. I'm encouraging all that they do. Remember, encourage the young people in the family. And sometimes you never know what they're watching and who they're observing in the family. And my aunt, my great aunt, she's passed on for years, and her and my grandmother was good friends, and they used to send each other information and send each other money and all that. If she needed help, my grandmother, while she was in New York, will help them, and vice versa, give her information. So they grew up doing this midwife thing and this nursing thing. Registered nurses. They was not just midwives; they was registered nurses throughout Jamaica and throughout New York. I'm glad that I did get to bring on Allegra. Once again, give her a round of applause. And one more story before I leave. I remember, when I became Muslim, I used to come and visit the family, and because I knew they was all going to gather either Thanksgiving or Christmas or dinner, one that I would pop up with my Muslim fairs and all that. And I remember one of my little cousins also around her age, or probably a little younger, Matthew. It was Matthew, Carol's son, Matthew. He hit me up at the age of 18 and said he remembered me wearing, at 6 years old, he remembered we wearing the fez and all that kind of stuff and all that. He wanted some information, and I sent him some information. But he used to hear me talk and teach inside at the family gathering sometimes and say certain things, but he remembered me from 6 years old. So you got to be very mindful of what you say around children. If you throw those things out, knowledge out, look out, they're going to come back and let you know, hey, I used to watch you talk about this. And sure enough, Matthew hit me up. I think he's born February the 6th, the same day and the same year as one of my sons, Jalil. And he asked me for some information, and I shared the information with him. I mailed the book to him. I think I mailed Real and Near from Farrah Gray, and I mailed a DVD by Dr. Umar Johnson in Dr. Umar Johnson's early stage, so he can get what I'm dealing with at that time, But as you know, I have an eclectic collection of books. I have a eclectic collection of books, and I study, read. I study, and I apply to my numerovational sessions to give people guidance. That's the importance, to give people guidance. That's what I do. And that's my gift to the world and the books that I've written and the more books that's going to come out. So don't be afraid to share your gifts with the young people in your family. Show them the way, and they will remix it for this day and time. Just like my auntie showed us the way, and my grandmother and all the family showed us the way. She just ended about having being a teenage mom, people holding on to that as being some type of curse. No, it is not a curse. There's women that are having children in ancient societies, even younger, but you got to learn to take those quote unquote agreements that we've agreed to be something of negativity and flip it into a positive way. That's why I always tell people, I do not claim the word curse. Do not claim that word at all. Do not claim that word at all. I had cousins on both sides. Oh, the family curse and the family curse and the family. I used to hear all this. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I used to have, what the hell y'all talking about? Curse? You living in a full brownstone. Y'all travel back and forth to Jamaica. You got this in Jamaica. You got that in Jamaica. You got land. You sold land. You had this. How in the world you curse unless you hold on to those word powers? I don't hold on to it. I'm not cursed. When I used to hold on to my complexion and how people used to dog me for my complexion in my own family and friends, as I grow older and understand who is the original man, that's why I told people about the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Who is the original man? The original man, Asiatic black man, to make it owner, the cream of the planet, earth, father, civilization, God of the universe. That stuck, that germinated in my mind. Power of words changed my mind about this complexion right here. So I'm so happy that Allegra, my dear little cousin, and people like Matthew and Chris and all them that are studying to be doctors and in the medical field, I'm going to interview them too. I have to support the youth in my family. So this is now on record that I am not a hater. I love my family. I interviewed my cousin Shireen in Canada as a disco diva of her time. Anything that you're doing in my family, if you want the interview, if they want to share my children, whatever they want to do, they can be on this platform. I'll advertise their business, whatever they want to do, I will share, because sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Remember that, family. Sharing is caring. So share wisdom, share your knowledge, apply your knowledge, and be the greatest representation of who you are on all levels. Be impeccable with your words. Don't take nothing personal. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Those are the 4 agreements from that book called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Be your greatest self. All right. Family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. I got still more work to do. Let's close out here with, Dr. Delbert Blair's prayers. Of course, let me close out with Dr. Delbert Blair's prayers, and I'm going to keep it moving from there. Close out with all the commercials. Family, this is Dr. Delbert Blair's prayers. And take a deep breath, relax, take time for yourself. Let's breathe it out. And here it is. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. Please, Universal Creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth and your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Please support his website, themetacenter2.com. Got a lot of extraordinary stuff on there about meditation and diodes and magnets and all that. Go to his website. Remember what Dr. B Sirius said. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection because no one is perfect in this realm. Remember that. And last but not least, I accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. As I leave you in the words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. One love, one aim, one destiny. In the words of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, one of the greatest strategists from the nation all the way to the new Black Panther Party. Regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God. And in the immortal words of Maya Angelou, she always says, and still we rise. People, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank Allegra for coming on. Thank all of you. And please stay focused, stay strong, stay out of people's business, stay out of trouble, and stay numerovated, as your brother likes to promote. Peace and love. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. So if you understand your mathematics as a human being, you could turn up that dial. It's just that most of our people was taught against this due to religious dogmatic stuff, but in the deeper spiritual aspects of religion, let's say the Gnostic Christians or the Sufis in Islam or the Kabbalists in Judaism, if you went there instead of staying on the layman's level, you would learn the numbers system.
All at once. Stepping off, rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because they're going to get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up. Wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numeral Base to get all 4 of my books. And of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com.